I've had my Fractal FM3 for about 2 weeks now, and right out of the box it sounds pretty awesome. The factory presets sound so good that I literally just plug into it, pull up a sound, and start playing my favorite Van Halen tunes, or I plug into it and I do a lot of private Zoom lessons, and I do live streams here on YouTube, and it literally, everything sounds good. I've never had a device that I've plugged into that was a digital amp modeler, and I've been owning stuff since the early 90s with the ADA MP1 preamp, and I've never had anything that I've liked immediately, to the point where I almost never use these things. I buy them, they sit around for a while, and then they end up getting sold. I do have a Strymon Iridium, which is on my pedal board. I was really happy with that when I got it, but it's not super flexible because it's only got 3 models in it, and it sounds good, but I had different applications in mind, and I thought the FM3 would be a really good step into the next level of amplifier modeling for me. One of the things that I was really curious about was how this thing takes normal pedals in front of it. My Strymon Iridium was originally bought so that I could put it on my pedal board and use it in place of putting a microphone on my amp. So I could play a gig and split the signal out and go one side to the amplifier, and we actually have this great amplified guitar sound on stage. And then the other side goes to the Strymon Iridium with a model and an impulse response, and then that goes direct out to the house, and then the front of house sound is very consistent. It doesn't matter where I'm putting a microphone. Microphones don't get knocked over. It just is what it is. Now, after trying some of that for a while, the guys in the band weren't really that thrilled with it, and I eventually went back to using the microphone. But I kept the Iridium as a just-in-case kind of thing if my amp died, which, sometimes it happens. And then we had the pandemic, and that kind of shut down live performance for me for quite a while. So the Strymon Iridium has kind of sat pretty dormant on my pedal board for this whole time, except for doing YouTube videos and backing tracks. And even then, I've started using some of the great plugins available, such as the Brainworks PT100, the Pete Thorne plugin that you guys have probably seen in the demo for as well. This year, because it looked like I was going to start playing out again, I wanted to have both my traditional rig and I wanted a good direct rig that I could use live, but also here in the studio, because I do a lot of stuff very quickly, and having something like that would be great for my workflow. With the Fractal, I can plug in the guitar, I can play bass through it, you can even do acoustic guitar if you had to. And I was very excited about that. Out of all the modelers that I heard online, that was the one that I actually liked the sounds of the most and really kind of liked how the workflow worked. So that's what I got. So I've made this video 3 times, and originally the idea was, can I use the FM3 just like I use the Strymon Iridium? Literally call up a plain amplifier model and just plug my pedal board into it and plug that into the PA and go. You're going to hear that doesn't work so great on this. And I had problems with input levels, and I thought maybe there were buffers, because my pedal board, the one I use for my cover and rock band gigs, is pretty large. It's got a Boss ES8 switcher in it. And then there's an active buffer, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So I thought maybe the sound issues I'm having with this have more to do with the buffering and all the other stuff that happens in my pedal before it gets to the front of the device. I tried different input levels because things were kind of getting a little weirdly distorted. There was like a strange clipping, but there was no clipping. There wasn't any obvious distortion in the signal path. So I did a little research, kind of learned about input levels on the FM3, got to the point where I got rid of that overdrive, and then I figured, hey, you know what? Let's just take all of my options here. Let's actually put a mic in front of my 1970 Deluxe Reverb, which is the amp I've been using the most lately. Let's actually take a line out of the Strymon Iridium and out of the FM3 at the same time, because I can split the signal. The first sound you're going to have is my amp, my real amp with a microphone on it, which is a Shure Beta 57, nothing too exciting. Off axis, and then directly into my Apogee Duet 2 preamp. So nothing super high end there with that. Literally just basic signal chain and no processing. There's nothing going on to make this sound any different than what it does. And then you're going to have the line from the Strymon Iridium, which is running into a direct box, and then it's a XLR cable into the preamp. And then the split signal is going out to the FM3. And then that is going XLR cable into my preamp as well. Now, just so that you don't think that the Fractal FM3 sounds bad, or that I think it sounds bad, the little bit that you hear at the beginning of the video, that is just the Deluxe Reverb model on the FM3. And then there's another bit you're going to hear before we get into the main deal here, and that is just FM3, just me playing directly into it. Those are, while I was still messing with the input levels, they're a little crunchier than I would have thought. There's a lot to learning how to use this FM3 that I'm still kind of getting under my fingers. So the reality is I'll probably do more videos later on where I actually get good sounds out of it and share those with you and talk about my workflow there. But as far as this particular video goes, what you're going to hear is some devices work better than others in certain contexts. And I'm still very, very happy with the FM3. I'm going to use it every day. I'm probably going to use it more than the Iridium, but the Iridium actually kind of works pretty good for this. Okay, a quick note about speakers. I have for about 30 years used Celestion greenbacks in my Deluxe reverbs, and I really like that sound. I really do not like the stock speakers in a Deluxe. So what you're getting here is that there's a microphone on the greenback in my amp, which is a Beta SM57, like I said before. And then the Strymon Iridium has an IR that I bought from Celestion, which is a Celestion creamback. It's either the creamback or the greenback, but they're kind of the same thing. And then the Fractal FM3, I'm using for the cabinet a 1x12 with a G12H, basically a greenback speaker with a 57 or 58 microphone in front of it. So they're all pretty similar, as close as I could get in terms of what's going on with my real sound. If you like this video and would like to see more content from Jack's Guitar Tracks, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, maybe even like the video. It all helps us out. We do backing tracks, gear demos, lots of guitar lessons, and I also do some live lessons here, live stream things, where you can actually ask me questions and I'll answer them. But you'll only get those notifications if you're subscribed.
Thank you.